think I said that. Now, anyway. So this right here is what you should have at the end. When we're doing the studying for the Industrial Revolution, we're going to try and condense it all onto this. So we're going to do a kind of a mini lecture right now on art. So take just a piece of binder paper out, and you can staple that to it in the back and not have to look all over your binder for the stuff you're going to use to study here. So we're going to try and condense everything into one. So we're going to do a little bit of a review of art, and then we'll get into what today's stuff is. Okay? So get ready to write. No, then from here we just don't drop it onto YouTube and erase it off my phone.
Are you recording all four of your calls?
No, just one.
Okay.
And we'll see how this works.
For the best, right?
That, and we got the machine working now.
No, you're gonna probably start recording first period, huh?
I don't see why. She's actually doing kind of the recording thing, so it's probably doing second. All right, here we go. Going back, first of all, the point in today's lecture is that you understand what neoclassic art is, which we'll get to second. So the point here, the target, neoclassic art. Okay. Now, going back, you should put down as kind of a timeline. We'll get to that in a second. Okay. We'll get to timeline. First, we start off with Middle Age art, which was two-dimensional and all religious. Remember it? You know, there's just no dimension to it, and every single thing was religion, religion, religion. Okay? Then we move into the Renaissance, where we get individualism, humanism, and secularism, and the techniques get better. We get 3D. Okay? Then there was a little modification with Northern Renaissance, where the color got better. They used better paints. Then we move into the Baroque. And you should be getting these down just as a reminder. Baroque was very emotional art and very religious, though. It tried to draw you back into the Catholic religion. Okay, during the religious wars, the Protestant Catholic wars. So that's Baroque art. Baroque art was also not centered, not symmetrical. Okay, great symmetrical art supposedly psychologically relaxes you. You see it and go, ah. The Mona Lisa is very symmetrical. The sides of her face are supposed to be identical. They tell me that that's what they look for in models, too. The face is supposed to be perfect, symmetrical, both sides the same, and that's what makes you beautiful, which means, I guess, both sides of my face are not the same. See, you guys are supposed to laugh harder when I'm recording. There you go. There you go. See, extra points right there. All right, so we move into Baroque art. Now, after Baroque art, we get into Rococo, which is going to be very flamboyant art, but for no reason. And it took place during the time of Louis XV. Louis XIV, very serious. Remember, a lot of wars, made everybody Catholic, so we have Baroque. Louis XV, fat, happy, doesn't care about anything, so we get that very frivolous art. Remember the lady on the swing by Watteau? You know, she's got the big fancy dress and her boyfriend's pushing her and she's smiling. You know, what's it supposed to make you think? Gross. Yeah, but nothing. There's no purpose. Just look at it and go, oh, isn't that cool? Okay, so that's Rococo. Now, we can't stay in that silly form forever, so now we move into Neoclassic. So this is during the French Revolution, so things aren't silly anymore. Now everything's serious again. Okay, so as we get into, there were some archaeological discoveries, I'm going to turn the lights down a little bit, in Greece that made people start thinking about Greece and Rome again. So neoclassical art will have at its base, okay, at its inspiration, Greece and Rome again, just like Renaissance did. And here's a perfect example. This is a painting by a guy named David. He spelled it like David, so he was like the first prima donna. His name is David, but he goes, it's not David, it's David. So it's spelled D-A-V-I-D, like David, but pronounced David. Okay? So this is Socrates' death. Okay? So one, it's Greek. Two, it has to do with your civic duty. Socrates was sentenced to death, but he could have gotten away. He could have left. Okay? And his friends all said, don't, I'd leave. And he said, no, I'll drink the hemlock, the poison, because it's my duty, it's what the government telling me to do. So here his friend is handing him the hemlock and he's drinking it. And he's telling them, Okay, I do the right thing because I'm Socrates. I'm doing my civic duty. So it's sending you a message. Do the right thing. Okay, and very much based on Greek and Roman stories. This, of course, being Greek. Athens. Okay, by David. So let's get rid of this one. Come on, technology. Here we go. And also by David. This is the oath of Horatii. Okay, in this one, also Roman. 3 sons are going to go to war to defend their city. Their father's giving them their swords because they're going to do the right thing. Their sisters are over here crying because they're all going to probably die in war. Very symmetrical again, going back to, Renaissance. So we've got, again, that's Greek-Roman influence. Looks like a Renaissance painting, but it's sending a message. Do your civic duty. This is the time of Napoleon. What did Napoleon want everybody to do? To join the army. So what the painting is? Go fight for your city. Get the message? So that painting is supposed to get you there. Come on. The death of Marat. Marat was one of the leaders of the French Revolution, and a lady came to him while he was in his bathtub. He had a horrible skin disease, so he used to do his work in the bathtub. That's his desk right there. Put a board over the tub because he would bathe himself in salt because he had horrible sores all over his body. Not that you need to know that. Anyway, a lady that did not like what he was doing, leading the revolution, came in, and you can see, if you look really closely, stabbed him in the chest and killed him. You can see the blood running down his arm. So this is the death of Marat. Okay? He was doing his civic duty. He was leading the revolution, and he died for it. Okay? Now, where does this get into the Greek and Roman and Renaissance, revival? Who's his body supposed to look like there? Who did they paint lots of pictures of after he was dead? Who? Jesus. You're supposed to be reminded of Jesus being taken down from the cross by the arm laying there like that in his dead body. That's that Greek-Roman influence, the Renaissance influence. And again, there is Marat, all by David. So you should have down some examples of David, paintings, and person. Okay? You don't have to have them all, but pick some, the ones that stay in your mind. One last painter we'll do for Neoclassic, and that is, sorry I can't type and talk, Goya. Now if you take a look at this one, it doesn't come in again really well. You see Goya painted, he was Spanish, and he painted during the time of the guerrilla wars and the French occupation in Spain. Remember, during the continental system, France attacked Spain. Spain fought the guerrilla wars, and it was very bloody. And you see here a bunch of soldiers executing a Spanish man. Okay? Again, what was he doing? He was fighting for his country. He was doing his civic duty. Okay? This is where it gets into the neoclassicism, doing his duty. One last one, because we're doing neoclassicism today, and on Thursday we're going to do the Romantic era. And so this is, Goya is kind of a transition from neoclassicism to Romantic, and Romantic is supposed to make you have feelings again. So I'm going to give you Goya's painting that's supposed to make you feel good. Not feel good, but make feelings. All right. You need to know the story before you get too grossed out by it. The Greek mythological story, there was a god called Saturn. Okay? He believed his children were going to overthrow him and take take over his kingdom, empire, whatever you want to call it. Okay? So what he did to his children is he killed them and ate them. Okay? Now, the connection it had to what was going on is this is what he felt France was doing to Spain during the guerrilla warfare. Okay? He felt what France was doing was they were wiping them out in a bloody, gory mess, so he painted this painting. There were a lot of paintings, and they're called as black paintings because the backgrounds are all in black, and it's supposed to make you feel something, okay? Besides going, ugh, it's gross. Again, it's Saturn eating his child, okay, which is a Greek mythology, but the comparison today is France attacking and taking over Spain and doing it in the bloody mess that they did it. Okay? So that one transitions from Neoclassicism. It still has that Greek-Roman reference, but the much more emotion involved in it, so it's going to move into the Romantic paintings, which we'll get to Thursday. Okay? So, for Neoclassicism, reference to Greek, Roman, and or Renaissance, and do your civic duty. Okay, there's a message there. Do your civic duty.
Wait, so it's representing what France is doing to Spain?
Yes, this would be France, the monster, and Spain would be the poor child being eaten. Remember, he was Spanish. You know, Spanish were doing rotten things too, but in his viewpoint, it was France's fault. Okay, because he was Spanish.
Well, I have a question about the previous arts. The background in the Renaissance paintings was clear?
Clear?
Like, in Northern Renaissance, it was
The big thing you want to, it tended to be 3D and symmetrical.
Okay.
All right.